Theater proudly presents your new favorite musical.
Hello and welcome to your new favorite musical. I'm your host, Wonder Dave, and this
is your other host, Tirumari.
That's right. I got dressed up and changed for this, Tirumari. What is up with you wearing the same shirt?
This is the only shirt I own, so, you know.
Fair enough.
Slim pickings.
Fair enough. That's canon now. You know that, right? We've got 6 teams of artists competing to have their musical produced by Awesome Theater. This is round 2, and we've got 2 teams facing off. 2 teams. 2 of them. 2 are facing off.
They have to pitch their musicals to the judges, and the judges will vote. Whoever gets 2 votes wins the game.
Do they win the game? Is it a game?
The episode? I guess? I don't know. What is it?
They win the episode.
They
advance to the next round. Huh?
That.
Yeah, that's what happens. Hey, I'm excited. Are you excited, Tirumari Jothi?
Very excited. Who's even going to go up against last round's winner, Pinball the Musical, that beat out Color Your World for the victory of the episode? Do we decide episode?
Let's go with episode.
Cool.
We'll stick with episode.
Great. Folks, we are bringing them back because you asked for them. We got the same 3 judges. First up is Leslie Waggoner.
Nikki Meñez.
And Dave Möschler.
Let's hear it one time for our fine panel of judges.
Okay, stop. No, he said one time.
I did say one time. You guys should have... Get it? Just once. That's all we need. In our second round, we've got Mommalia by Jennifer Gallagher.
And Weasels by David G. Smith.
What do you think these musicals are going to be about, Tirumari?
I was going to ask you the same exact question. I can't figure it out.
I don't know. I'm going to assume that one's about ferrets and the other one's about fatherhood.
Up first, we got Weasels by David G. Smith.
Hello, Awesome Theater, and welcome to the wonderful world of Weasels. Weasels is a 1-hour world of wonder, a frenetic ride on a Ferris wheel, or should I say, Ferret's wheel. No! Ferrets are evil! Weasels!
Ansible weasels are always elite. Ansible, prancible weasels. Ansible weasels are quite indiscreet when painting on canvas and easels. They never ask, is eating some shrubbish sin. Their only task is depleting some rubbish bin. If they get caught, they squeak and appeasel. That's the only thought of an ansible weasel.
Weasels is a musical romp filled with interesting facts. 1. The Weasels' world is one of hatred and violence. 2. The Weasels are killing machines. 3. Weasels save their leftovers and they are not afraid to fly. 4. They deploy stink bombs. 5. They fight monsters. 6. They do a war dance. And they glow purple under a black light. And each year, they have a competition for the most wonderful weasel. Not really, but that's just part of the play.
They carry knives or they earn a shiv. To them, hate has no alternative. If they get caught, they squeak and appeasel. That's the only thought of an ansible, prancible weasel.
Enter our protagonist. finest, Adorazel.
The story that's told when the first weasel was born. They were filled with anger, pain, and scorn. It was into this world that I was raised, but the things that I loved were never praised. I never looked at the bleak and the tragic. I wanted magic. I look through the darkness to see the light, find the dance steps when others fight, when others look so tragically. Magic's what I wanna see. I jump over walls when others stand still. Don't believe Jackie's better than Jill. I don't get trapped in the labels like that. Magic pulls this weasel out of the hat. I will not disappear from the world of pain when it comes near. I will not hesitate. Don't dive into hate. I levitate.
Welcome to the magical weasel world, where the world of illusion comes to fruition. The magical banner of wonder unfurled in the weasel competition. And the other competitors have songs too, but to cover them would make this pitch too long. Among them are a theater weasel, a washed-up porn actor, and a raggy-ass stoat representing the homeless factor. And they sing songs and the plot goes thin, and it's time to find out who's going to win. Just when. It's time for a great decision. A horrible thing creates division.
Beep, 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 beep. This is the Mustaladay Emergency Broadcast System. There has been an outbreak of the ferret flu, also called the PBR virus. But please don't make fun of the name. Every weasel must wear a face covering and stay 6 feet apart.
There must be a solution.
I forgo my place in the competition to find the solution.
Do I have to wear this mask? Well, I'm by myself.
Now, Weasels is a combination of a magical musical that some may think is a cheap satire of cats, but it's also a mystical hero's journey, which might also be a cheap ripoff of The Hobbit. Now she goes on her journey through politics hot and gophers named Bernie. She wore her mask in Albany, New York, where guppies laughed at her and called her a dork. Then they dressed in their rainbow satin and journeyed to the quarantined bars of Manhattan. Across the wall to East Squirrel Inn, they can show you the scars of the places they've been. Amsterdam, they got in trouble by eating some cake with folks not in their bubble. They ate some ratwurst in old Milwaukee, gained 15 pounds and looked quite blocky. Hung with A-listers in Beverly Hills to look for the differences between Jacks and Jills. Her journeys stop in a Mouse Vegas hotel in a weasel-themed room that she loves so well. She found the books of weasel history and found a time when love was not a mystery.
The story that's told when the first weasel loved, the angels all sang from heaven above. I wanted what came from that song, but the plague came and it all felt wrong. Say goodbye to the bleak and the tragic.
and magically words of weasel forgiveness transport her back to where she belongs. And then she hears the Raggy Stoats song.
Strike of 12. The streets are silent. Does the star recall with her shy smile? Neon reflects the crumpled trash in the streets, and it smells for a while. Recollect with the ghosts in the alley. Think of the old days when I wasn't a toot. The time I understood what life really was. Recollect when I was cute. But now a weasel's truth is to be despised. That's what I realized. Oxygen is all I need. Somewhere in the world my life is breathing. Far from hate and far from greed. Somewhere there's a weasel world not breathing. I found the magic. The magic is love. For what it's worth, it's never too late to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people who have a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you're not, I hope you have the courage to start again. Love that is growing like a fine wine that is casked cannot stop from growing. Only faces can be masked. Love and oxygen is all we need. Somewhere in the world our hearts are breathing. 6 feet from fear and hate and greed. Somewhere there's a weasel world not grieving. Now a weasel's truth cannot be despised. That's what I weaselized.
And the winner is all of us. And that's the end of the story.
All right, studio audience, let's hear it for Weasels! You know, I don't think I can think of a similar musical based around a tribe of a specific type of animal ever existing. What a neat and never before seen thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Andrew Lade Wonder Dave.
You're really trying, aren't you?
Okay,
What'd you think of Weasels, Tirumari Jothi?
all I want is the release of the butthole edit. I want the butthole edit.
That's a really specific request, Tirumari.
Oh, that's what I always ask for every video.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I will not kink shame you.
And now, let's hear what the judges have to say about Weasels, not just in general.
Okay, wow. Weasels, the musical. I'm obsessed. I'm shocked. I'm intrigued. I'm cracking up just thinking about it. This was a really, really interesting pitch. First off the bat, I want to say I really appreciate all the allusions to Cats the musical, obviously. They really went with that. They really, really stuck to their guns. And I was cracking up pretty much the entire time. In terms of producibility, I don't know. That actually seems this one seems not one of the most unproducible ones, but it could go either way because it could be done really a lot of sets and costumes, or it could be done very, very, very minimally. So that seems to be going against it a little. Score, it's music and lyrics. I want to say that that the music is, I think, not taking itself very seriously, which is a good thing, but definitely pretty silly there. Lyrics, I very much appreciate the all perfect rhymes in playing up to playing into the original lyrics to Cats. In terms of the story, I mean, it's silly. It's great. It's hilarious, but yeah, it was fun to watch an 11, 12-minute pitch video of it, a full show. I don't know, that could be kind of hard to maintain humor and whatnot throughout, so we'll see.
Thanks, Dave. That was great. My name is also Dave. Next judge?
Weasels! Oh my gosh, so funny, so weird, which I love, but in a super specific way, which I very much love. So the specificity in the tone that you've established is amazing. It's weird and unexpected, and you were fully committed to it, fully committed to the bit. Love that. Just a quick shout out to Beverly Hills. That's my favorite. The melodies are super interesting as far as the music goes. I wanted to hear more. I felt left wanting to hear more. I have questions about what your plan is for orchestration, or if you were thinking this would be a fully tracked musical. Either is fine. I was just curious. I like that there, as far as casting, there's a potential for great diversity. Lots of different ages. People can look however they want. They're Weasels. So that's great and leaves a lot of open doors and a lot of opportunity for a lot of people. I thought it was really actionable. I think the actions were super clear, and I could imagine, I'm putting my choreographer tiny hat on. I'm thinking about ways to use the music and incorporate some dance, and I saw lots of opportunity for that, or just movement even. Very clever. I also love that it's great for people who love cats like me, or people who hate cats like most people. It struck a nice chord of really like giving a side eye to the absurdity of cats, but with some reverence and paying homage. Loved it. Thanks.
Thanks, Leslie. Judge Waggoner has a really powerful feel to the name. It's really intimidating. Our next judge?
Weasels. I just I think that was the best laugh I've had all week. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so, okay, let's start with the easiest thing. I think producibility, I think this is plenty producible. I think as long as the hair and makeup situation and the costuming is as purposeful, inspired as what was showed in this pitch, I think you could put it in a cardboard box and I think the story would tell itself. I don't think
there's a problem with producibility. As long as you have a decent costume and makeup budget, you're good. No, the story. Holy shit. I just appreciate how self-aware it is that this show is batshit crazy. Weasel shit crazy. I think if this were to be produced, I think it needs to come with a drinking game. I think it satisfies the the absurdity that I experienced when I went to theaters and I watched Cats. I think that the story, as entertaining as it is, as much as I'm laughing right now, I did lose the story, at least in this pitch, just because I think it's a little, there's already just so much going on in this world that we're trying to enter that it was a little hard to follow what was going on in terms of like the actual plot and the events that happen. Oh man, I guess that segues into what I think about the music, in that again there's so much going on that the music I think has some really nice intentions laid into the storytelling, but it just wasn't engaging enough to like distract me from what else was going on. I think that I would watch this musical if it were like 10 p.m. with cocktails and just, you know, as an audience together experiencing the what the fuck of this musical, I think would be delightful. Yeah, it was an absurd delight to watch this bitch. I just can't stop laughing. It's just so great. Also, props to the hair and the makeup of y'all who did this pitch. I think the commitment to both the presentation and the creation of this musical, I think is really, really there, and I want y'all to know I appreciate it.
You know, Dave, my favorite piece of Judgment was the first piece of Judgment.
Yeah? You enjoyed the first piece of Judgment more than the other two?
Yes.
Fine. My favorite piece was the second and third equally.
Oh. I didn't know you could do that.
I
don't know any of the rules of this game. Show.
Well, we've heard what the judges had to say about the first musical. Now, let's check out the second musical in this round of Your New Favorite Musical. I just said the word musical 3 times, which is a lot. Let's check out the musical Mommalia by Jennifer Gallagher.
Nico, how do you feel about having been the inspiration behind Mommalia? True or false, you kept your mother up for 48 straight hours after you were born.
You should really put a hat on that baby. She must be freezing. It's 70 degrees outside. Oh well, she could still get pneumonia. Ma'am, there's a room you can nurse in. This is a family event. Children having children. I'm legally an adult, thank you very much. You're never safe. They're everywhere. Other mommies, mailmen, your best friend's roommate, and your hairdresser. You're never right. You're never sure. And maybe I'm just insecure. You know that stroller was recalled. Something about a baby rolling down a hill and into traffic. Faulty brakes, I think.
It was half price?
Oh well, it's just an issue of safety. You know about epidurals and delays, right?
Is there any science behind that?
Go organic and save your planet.
I'm just trying to keep this baby alive.
If you let him cry and cry and cry and cry,
They'll develop schizophrenia.
you're never safe. They're everywhere. Your yoga teacher, Uber driver, and your brand new neighbor. You're never right. You're never sure. And maybe I'm just insecure. And maybe I'm just tired. But well, maybe you're crossing the line.
Hospitals, home births, doulas, formula, vaccines, cradle cap, autism, reflux, SIDS. You're crossing the line. Oh, you're crossing the line. You're crossing the line.
You're crossing the line.
You're crossing the line.
You're crossing the line.
You're crossing the line.
You're crossing the line.
You're crossing the line. That was the song Stranger Danger from my new original musical, Mommalia. Mommalia is the story of three new mothers whose lives intertwine when they form a nanny share. That song in particular was about strangers rendering their unsolicited opinions about child rearing upon the youngest mother, who is one of the main characters. This musical is full of comedic pieces, which I'll demonstrate with the next song entitled So Hot to Be So Low, which is about the women being very excited for their partners to get the babies and leave them the heck alone so they can have a night all to themselves. Baby, you've never been sexier to me than you are right now. Packing up your things, wrangling that baby, and getting the hell out the door. I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot to be so low. Just leave me alone so hard, just like that, alone so hard. You know just what to do, baby, how to thank you. Just get the hell out alone so hard. I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot to be so low. Gonna be alone so hard. Gonna unwind oh so slow. You know just what to do, baby, how to thank you. Just get the hell out alone so hard. I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot to be so low. Oh yeah, baby, I'm gonna check shit off my to-do list left and right, unencumbered. Oh my God, I'm gonna take a shower by myself. I'm gonna wash my hair. Oh yes! Oh God! I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot to be be solo. I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot. I'm so hot to be solo. As I mentioned before, this musical is about three new mothers who form a nanny share in which the youngest mother nannies for the two more established women. Drama ensues when one of the mothers installs a nanny cam, but the central conflict emerges when the biological father of one of the adopted babies of a same-sex couple disputes the adoption in court. I explore themes of race, class, and privilege as they pertain to motherhood, and in the end, the women bond over their shared experiences about parenting their babies. My name is Jennifer Gallagher. I'm a musician and actor, and I live in Oakland, California, and I was inspired to write this musical after having my son, Nicholas, who's 8 months old currently, and I kind of got the idea for this musical when I joined a mom's group. So thank you so much for your consideration, and I'm going to leave you with the final song in my musical entitled Wonder. Before you came to me, I was sad and lonely. You have made me new. Wonder, darling, you're a wonder. How did I uncover such a precious jewel? Because I'm your mommy, I'll be the best I can be. I will see it through. And darling, if you ever need me, you know just where I'll be. I'll be right by you. Baby, because I'm your mommy, I'll be the best I can be. Oh, how I love you. And darling, if you ever need me, you know just where I'll be. Yes, I'll be right by you.
And that was Mommalia by Jennifer Gallagher. What is on your face?
Oh, I'm just trying to appeal to a wider
Take it
audience.
off!
What?
Take it off!
Why?
Because it's dumb. This isn't your new favorite incredibly ancient comedy gag.
It's like I have two mustaches.
No. It's stupid.
Fine. God.
As I was saying, that was Mommalia by Jennifer Gallagher. Let's hear what the judges thought.
Wow! Dope. I love it. Where should we start? Let's start with music. I think that the music that was shown in this pitch was very fresh, super contemporary. I think it's very catchy too. I'm probably gonna be singing. I think the last song was Wonder. For a little bit because it's a gentle bop. It is. Lots of Dear Theodosia vibes. I think the music and the songs that were showcased leading into the storytelling of it, I think the fact that you're able to use a uniform, I suppose, genre and tell it in very different experiences. Like we have a funny song, a sexy song, and a lullaby kind of ballad situation, and they all feel uniform's not the right word. They feel of the same world. They make sense together, and I think that feels really good to experience. I think it just lets us fall into the storytelling even more easily. And the story, I am hard pressed to find a good play, let alone a good musical, that's a story about mothers and how important and human and beautiful and messy motherhood is, especially when you're fresh off the birthing process. Not that I myself am a biological mother by any means, but to be able to express how important it is that women who are mothers, be in community with each other and share stories and share their experiences with one another for their own success, I suppose, but to be together, to be able to not feel isolated in motherhood. I think that's a beautiful notion, and it comes through so clearly in this musical, at least in this pitch. So that leads me to producibility. I think I would have loved some clarity around who exactly needs to be involved in this story. I get that we've got 3 mothers. I get that the children and the spouses are mentioned, but I would love to know how many people are needed for casting. I think the potential to talk about motherhood from different contexts, from different backgrounds of race and class, is super important and would be able to diversify the casting process. It calls for diverse casting already, which I'm very interested in. And I think that while the specific places that we go weren't named in the pitch, it feels to me very much like a living room play kind of, and then as the conversations between the women continue, like we go to each of the experiences they share, kind of like flashbacks. So I think that would be an interesting production process. But that could also just be where my brain goes to as a director. So, yeah, I have lots of questions about producibility, but I don't think it's anything too crazy. Overall, really, really lovely, really important story. And I'd be interested to know more.
Thanks, Nikki. You sure judged the hell out of that one. On to our next judge.
Okay, so my reaction to Mommalia. First off, great performances throughout. Very, very polished pitch. Seems like a very producible story. A small cast with no fantastical elements that I know of yet, and small rock band. So in that regard, yeah, a good fit. In terms of story, I'd like to hear more about the actual, linear through narrative of the story. A little bit more. I got a little bit of it. Yeah, for right now, it seems sort of like a song cycle, but that could be awesome too. And I do love the material, and that it's there's a huge lack of musicals with female writers. So like hell yeah, let's do that. In terms of the score, music was pretty rockin', pretty awesome, nice, clear, authentic voice. The lyrics were leaving me wanting a little bit more. I loved the dialogue, spoken bits over the music, where a lot of the humor comes out. That was really great. So I love how it's a awesome, important topic. Not covered in musicals a lot, and yet doesn't take itself too seriously, so that's a great mix of that. So, yeah.
Oh, Dave.
Hey, Mommalia. Super interesting topic. I love the idea of a musical based around motherhood as concept. There's just not many stories about motherhood, especially musical theater. And it seems to me like, if that's featured in a musical, it's often an afterthought or an explanation about a protagonist who is usually male. And I love the variety of roles for women. That's great. Amazing. It seems like, from what I understand, there's a variety of ages represented, especially with the women, which is wonderful from a casting perspective and a staging perspective, and just as an audience perspective. Everyone wants to see stories that represent all different kinds of seasons in life, and I think that there's potential for that in this story. The music is gorgeous. Your voice is stupendous. Oh my gosh, I could have listened to you sing all day. Beautiful. It's very modern music, which is a positive to me, at least, but it's very accessible. So I think that it sits in a nice spot that's modern but accessible. I feel like, if anything, I could use a little more levity as far as peaks and valleys and that kind of stuff. And maybe it's from just the songs that were represented in your pitch, but it felt like a lot of peaks and maybe not a lot of valleys. Maybe that's just what you were showing, but I often feel like in stories, those moments of levity help support the bigger actionable themes. And speaking of actionable, I wasn't super clear on what some of the actions and conflicts in the show were. I know you touched on them a little bit. I just want to hear more. But it's a beautiful story and beautiful music. Thank you.
All right, you saw one pitch, and then you saw a second pitch. And so now it's the moment of truth. We're going to find out what our judges' final scores are.
We are on pins and needles, waiting to hear what the results will be. This is the moment where one team's dream will be crushed, and the other team will live to dream another day!
Well, let's hear what they have to say.
I think the winner for me, as torn as I am, has to be Mommalia.
My pick for this round is Weasels, the musical.
I choose Mommalia.
Congratulations to the winner of round 2 of your new favorite musical, Mommalia! Pew, pew, pew! Pew, pew, pew! Pow, 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 pow! Also, Weasels, good job.
Oh yeah, good job, Weasels.
Stay Weasley, my friends. Stay Weasley.
A huge thanks to our judges and our artists for contributing their awesome art for us to enjoy. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you. And also, stay tuned for round 3 on August 27th, where 2 new gladiators will compete in a tournament. I don't think it's a tournament.
It's a show.
A reality show.
Competition.
Competition. We'll see you then. August 27th, round 3.
Bye!
Good night.
The Weasels.